Okay.
Steve's gone mad. Hang on.
Up.
We bring Steve up so I can have a... Wait.
What's Steve?
No,
What's
I'm
Steve
not
doing?
there. Have a look at Steve. Steve's drinking the
There's
milk.
Steve. That's not the real Steve.
Yep. That's...
Wait, you're in front of yourself.
Okay, well, there's-
I'm not in front of me.
hang on, well,
Hang on, I'm out of the way. Whoa. Okay.
You're over there.
Stay out.
So you gotta get down.
No, I don't need to get down.
Well,
You need
now
to get...
is that
up.
the real Steve?
You know, Beagle began the night by waiting a little while for his barracks to cycle around, and then loaded out a decent team for the crashed fighter from last week.
Yankee. Okay, now we're looking good. Have we used all the scopes? Used all the scopes. Got the medkits, got the grenades, got the flashbang, got the rockets, got the motion tracking. Even got the rookie.
The squad headed down to the farm for a fairly easy crashed fighter mission. You don't expect these missions to be very difficult, and while it looked like it might get interesting when a floater and drone pod pulled in the same turn early on, they were all dealt with quickly. The aliens didn't actually get a shot off in this entire mission. The Outsider was a bit of an awkward pull as well, but pretty easy to fix, and the final floater pod was dealt with extremely nicely by a beautiful rocket from Memester, followed up by some killing fire. I want to highlight Memester for her performance in this mission. She shot 2 good rockets, hit her targets squarely, dealt a lot of damage. It's worth pointing out how much these consumables are doing on a mission which only has 7 enemies on it to begin with.
10 Elerium. 16 alien alloys. 5 weapon fragments. And... ooh, baby! 50 meld!
With a huge influx of meld to spend, Beagle continued his masterful handling of the air game by asking Twitch chat where to put his pilots.
Right now on this straw poll, brought to you by the Lesbian Game and Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, where you can go for a $35 ticket for adults at a kid's price.
Make sure to have your exciting moments at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary captured by their professional photographers to cherish and show friends and family. And also, check out the Segway Safari. Glide gently through the lush surroundings of Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary on an eco-friendly Segway Safari tour. Start with a 10-minute instruction class teaching the intuitive steering system, and then on to a 40-minute fully guided tour of the sanctuary's vast bushland and rainforest habitats.
Alright, it's a definite win. It's a solid win for Split Jim. We're gonna keep Jim split. We're gonna snap into a split Jim.
Those of us concerned with the actual fate of the campaign were pleased to see that Beagle eventually did sell some stuff for a plane.
All that juicy meld we got? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All over everything.
I honestly thought he was going to buy interceptors with that money when I was recording that audio just then.
Alright, get that building. Okay. Beam lasers is good. Advanced beam lasers it is. All the way.
Holy shit, I think this is... He's gonna buy lasers, isn't he? He is gonna buy lasers. Picking up laser weapons here is of course super normal. I mean, Beagle did just finish researching them, but I will point out that they cannot fly. Anyway, Beagle scanned for a bit and it was time for the council mission, Site Recon in Newfoundland. And the name in everybody's mouth for this mission was Lime's Trash Can. It turns out that Limes may not have been a soldier at all before being recruited to XCOM. There are stories that he may have just been a male stripper wandering the base after a performance for Dr. Valen. He certainly caused a scene last week when he burst onto the scene with his rookie debut, pulling his little gun out and showing it to a floater. And everyone was looking forward to seeing what he could pull off this close to a pole.
I think we're easy peasy lemon squeezy. Jabreezy here. Let's get in there.
Site Recon began pretty well with the team killing a couple of wayward locals with some good fire. A pot of chrysalids patrolled in, but they were softened up by not 1 but 2 AP grenades, and the guns finished off the rest of the pod, and then Beagle got a little bit distracted.
Oh, there it is! There it is! You know we're gonna have this installed.
After a little time out, it was time to kill some more chrysalids again. And the next pod didn't worry Beagle too much, with some shots aided at times by height advantage, setting up a very nice grenade from Cerebulon, who actually pulled a Boganova here, killing 3 enemies with 1 attack. Claymore took down a zombie, with Cappy following suit, and then Claymore took down a Chrysalid on Overwatch as well, and it was time for things to get pretty weird, as a Chrysalid pod patrolled in, and then...
As long as the Thin Men don't activate on me, as long as the Thin Men don't activate on me, as long as the Thin Men don't— FUCK!
Realizing they had insufficient protection, the soldiers pulled out, breaking eye contact with the aliens as they did so. The Chrysalids pursued, running into some nice Overwatches.
Hey, buddy. It was a trap.
After the soldiers retreated for another turn, a couple of Thin Men placed themselves in a very alluring position, and a grenade killed one and uncovered the other.
Fuck. Oh god, no!
The Thin Man did eventually go down, and the soldiers were far enough away from Chrysalids that they weren't able to be attacked. The Thin Men remaining, meanwhile, suffered a momentary lapse in understanding of object permanence, overwatching and running off into Fog of War. These enemies were all mopped up fairly easily by Beagle over the next few turns. With the map clear, all that was left was to deal with the Chrysalid reinforcements spawning in the whale in the lower deck of the ship. Beagle dropped down and took the raised platform on the lower deck, and Lime's trash can pulled out his jukebox, blasting some Ricky Martin's La Vida Loca as they began to slaughter the aliens. Unfortunately, I can't bring this to you in the review. I don't have the copyright for the song, the VOD was muted, and it's just something that you had to experience live. I feel really bad, but there's...
Steven? Why is there a polka band at the door?
Upside, inside out, just living la vida loca. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. Upside, inside out, just living la vida loca. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and skin's the color mocha. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. Living la vida loca.
Thank God. We finally found the button for it.
Upside, inside out, just living la vida loca. She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Her lips are devil red and skin's the color
Gamage,
mocha.
no!
She will wear you out, living la vida loca. Living la vida loca. Living la vida loca.
Anyway, the mission went well. The aliens actually didn't attack XCOM at all in this mission. XCOM meanwhile used 45 regular shots, 54 Overwatch shots, 6 grenades, and 1 very large and effective jukebox. It remains to be seen if the aliens will find a counter strategy to what Lime's trash cans is bringing.
We've got a... Now we've got a hint of how at least one of the aliens would transform the Earth if given the chance. Yeah. The whole Earth just covered in Ricky Martin songs.
And so ended April, a month punctuated by the death of Gamage and me working out what drop shadows are. Beagle actually did play another mission last week. I'm not sure if anybody remembers that happening. It was a swarming abduction in Germany. The aliens actually have high enough resources right now that they add extra aliens to abductions. This was a swarming abduction with 17 aliens on it, which is a lot, but almost half of them were sectoids, so it ended up not being that big a deal. Rooster did take a pretty nasty wound, but in general, pretty straightforward mission. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of JoINrbs Reviews Beaglerush's Thursday Night XCOM. I have some people to thank this week. First off, Aaron Shea is a Seattle area musician local to me. And he was able to put together a polka rendition of La Vida Loca within 24 hours of me asking for it. So that was amazing. Huge thanks to Aaron, and his Patreon and Bandcamp are linked below the video if you want to check him out. I also want to thank Woodsource, who got in touch with me via YouTube and has been feeding me some really detailed and useful breakdowns of shots taken in each mission, both by XCOM on regular shots, overwatches, and like consumable usage, and by Aliens Against XCOM. You saw a few stats from that this week, and I'm going to try to work in more of them for next week as I get more accustomed to having them. The pole dancing OG XCOM Muton that you saw at the end of that song sequence was created by Tony Son, who's been making some really cool channel art for me as well for my Twitch. You should check out his Twitter, which is linked below. And then the wizard robe and hat was put together by my wonderful girlfriend, Caitlin. I think she did a really, really good job. It's really cool, and I'm sure you guys will be seeing more of it in the future. You also heard her on the review telling me that the polka band was at the door. That was a little bit of acting from her. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching, and I hope to see you guys next week for another review of Thursday Night XCOM.